I know a lot of you are going to think that this is absolutely crazy. We are moving again. Hello, YouTube. Long time no see. For those of you that may not follow me on other platforms, it has been almost 2 years since I posted here, and since then we have moved from our 5-acre homestead to a 10-acre homestead. And I know a lot of you are going to think that this is absolutely crazy, but we are moving again to another property. So I thought that this might be a good time to come back to YouTube and give you a tour of the new place. I know people are going to be wondering, why on earth are we moving again? It hasn't even been a full year since we moved to our 10-acre property. And I will talk about that a little bit more in another video. But today I wanted to specifically give a tour, show you some footage of what it looks like before, because there is a lot of work that we need to do here to get it set up. And then at the end, I do have a few questions for you guys. Okay, so here's a little bit of the property. It has a looped driveway. So you can come in here, go all the way around to the house, and then go back out. This centered area right here is going to be the future garden spot, the main garden spot. There'll be a few gardens. There was an old farmhouse there that was recently bulldozed before we had the ownership of the property. Very sad to see it go, but it did leave a very nice sunny spot with a little bit of shade too to have for gardening. This is the first barn. Some of you might be thinking, wow, that is a really ugly barn in compared to the one that is at your current property. And you're not wrong, but we didn't buy this property because it was beautiful. We bought it because it has potential and it has room for us to grow and room for us to improve. But also it has a lot of functionality that we need for where we are currently in our homesteading journey. So let's take a peek inside. So here is the old milking area. We have 3 milk cows currently. So we will be setting up these head gates for their milking. And then to the right here, there is the old milk parlor. I know that this looks really ugly and not very inviting right now, but I'm excited about having this little milk room for pickup for our herd share members, having it right attached to the barn so we don't even have to haul milk into another building for pickup. Love how this old door to the milk parlor has this latch that locks it into place so that it's not blowing in the winds. So smart. Also, how cool is the shelf? Now, down past the milking area, there is kind of the winter feeding, loafing area for cows. Our plan is to turn these feeder areas into free stalls for the cows. So having a barrier kind of halfway between so they're a little bit skinnier, and then putting down sand or some type of bedding for them to lay in. Here is the winter paddock sacrifice area. This is an old automatic heated waterer. Not sure if it works, but we're gonna try to get it to work because that would be incredibly handy to have. That is a little opening to the hay loft. So our plan is to have some type of feeder here so that we can just throw hay right down into it, and it'll be nice and covered and super easy for winter time. Currently there is, we figure, about 6 or 7 acres in pasture, which, as you can tell, has not been grazed for a long time. Needs a lot of reviving, but that's okay. We have the animals and the knowledge to do that. Let's go back into the other part of this animal barn. So this area was obviously built out for cattle originally. It has this hay mow for feeding, but I feel like it was probably used for pigs recently, considering there are cattle panels all along the underside of it. So I'm not sure, honestly, what we will do in this space. Now up to the hay loft. I definitely plan to have Tommy build some stairs so that we can get up here without having to take the ladder. But this is huge up here. There is literally probably 3 or 4 feet of just loose built up straw and hay up here, which part of me is really excited about because that is incredible mulch for my future garden spot. And part of me is like, how the heck are we gonna get it all out of here? Because there's just so much of it, but we will make use of it eventually. Check out this lovely view. Such a beautiful day. Back down the ladder. Yeah, definitely want stairs. All right, let's head out to barn number 2. There's kind of a funny concrete slab here that we're assuming was an old corn crib. That's obviously not there anymore. And then we have this funny building, which initially I thought maybe it was like a smokehouse or a sugar shack. But when you go inside of it, it's completely closed off to the top. And it has this pipe that's coming in. And you can kind of see the reservoir up there. So we're pretty sure that this was just some type of well house. There's a little bit of a pipe there from maybe some type of heat source, which if they had a pump in here, it probably would have needed to have heat maybe. So I'm assuming it was something to do with the old well, which has now been filled in. We actually had a brand new well put in last week. But what am I gonna do with this building? I'm not sure. It's like a pretty decent size. We obviously need to make it so we can access the upstairs, but what would you guys do? Garden shed, kid stuff, One of my friends said I should make my office up in the loft, which I don't hate that idea. All right, here is barn number 2, which, like the other barn, is very scrappy, but it's solid, even if it's not the prettiest. And this barn will serve kind of multi-purposes for us. So right now, there's this loft on this side and this small built-in kind of workbench area. There's some massive nails for hanging things. So the part that's kind of built out already as a workshop, we're planning to keep as like our workshop for building, woodworking, and basically where this loft ends, we will put up a wall all the way to enclose it. The other half of the front of this barn is getting concrete put in actually in the next few weeks because it is going to serve as our butcher shop. This nice tall door here will allow us to put a hoist in for bringing in pigs or deer or cows. And then we'll also have a door that goes out this side to an overhang so that when we butcher chickens, we have an exterior spot for the kiln. This back portion then, so wood shop here, butcher shop here, and then all the back of this will just be used for storage, parking a tractor, farm truck, and other equipment. Looks like there was probably some type of chicken run built in here at one point. And these custom RV doors go out to the run. So, not sure those will stay, but I appreciate their effort to be resourceful. Now, the best part of this property is not the outbuildings. It's not the potential garden plot. It's not even the house. I'm not gonna show you much of the house in this video. It'll have to get a video all on its own, but the house is actually currently completely gutted down to studs. So that will be the first project that we work on before we move in here. The best part about this property is the acreage. There are 40 acres here, which was the number one reason why we decided to make this crazy move, is that we wanted to have more land. We outgrew our 5 acres, went to 10 acres, and ultimately decided that for all of the goals and dreams that we have, having more acreage is going to be necessary to fulfill those needs. So 40 acres here that has been primarily farmed by the neighbor next door for I don't know how many years, but we'll be coming back to be part of the rest of what's currently in use around the house for pastures and future hay fields and orchards and more garden plots and all of that. Oh, there is also a little patch of woods on the very south part of it. Should show you. This is a little bit of what the backyard looks like. It is so lovely and shaded. Has some beautiful trees. This super cool old structure that I'm assuming the kids are gonna claim. Some type of fun playhouse. There is not much to look out in the pasture right now. We're hoping to brush hog it here before winter, but I will walk you out just to give you a different vantage point. Some type of old structure out here, obviously. typical Michigan farm, there's always a rock pile and apparently an old windmill type structure. It looks like there's been some deer bedding in here, which is awesome. We do plan to hunt. So there is the tour of our new homestead property for our family of 10 in Michigan. I should probably give you guys a little bit of a peek of the house. When I say it is gutted, I mean it is completely gutted down to studs. Thankfully, this property isn't too far from our current homestead, so we are going to be working on this for the next few months to get it livable before we can move all of our animals and family over here. Now, I am planning to do weekly videos of our progress, getting this work done, getting it set up, moving us here, but I need to know what you guys want to see next. Do you want to see a tour of the house? Do you want to hear our game plan for establishing the new garden plots and the orchards and the pasture and kind of all of the growing spaces? Or do you want me to share footage of us setting up our milk parlor pickup room? We have to get sinks in there, we have to get fridges in there, we have to get the outside to be a little bit more presentable. Tell me in the comments what you want to see next. And thanks so much for watching. Can't wait to share a little bit more about this journey with you guys.